But you are a scientist. He is a scientist.
Yeah.
Let's go into it. The spirituality.
Oh,
Because we are the spirit having a human experience.
I actually lost a wife 3 years ago from lung cancer.
The ramen is pumping. The heart is simply yours. Get up. Don't sit around and do nothing. You gotta get what's yours. Stand up. Don't be the ramen is pumping. The heart is simply yours. Sweet Delaware put cream to the crops. Unraveling gifts brand new for them.
Okay, and so welcome to the third installment of Better Days with Thato Khesa. Today it is Sunday, a blessed day, and I'm hanging with Thato Khesa. Is it the right pronunciation?
Yeah, it is the right pronunciation.
I've always known Thato, you know, for decades, if I can say, and I figured that. You know what? Well, you'll hear his story now. We're going to be talking, but I figured that he's a person of interest, and it makes sense for me to be sitting with him today. And we have descended into Zone 6 today. We are broadcasting from the hood, and we are super excited about it. And of course, we just want to talk. We just want to catch up. And I do believe that this falls within our scope of our initial terms of reference to, you know, want to catch up with all those that, you know, people that went to the high schools that we mentioned in the first outset. But that said, I think without any further waste of time, we've already did our greetings and all that, but that was off air. But just for the camera, my king, how things, man?
That's it, yeah.
Are you Iron man?
Iron man.
We give thanks, man. Man,
time.
thank you for first things first for allowing us to just come and chill with you. I know that I hit you up. I'm like, hey man, I need to catch up with you, and needless to say that there wasn't any resistance from your side.
Yeah, Temple man. You know what? Give thanks again.
We give thanks, man.
Yeah, most time.
Fireman.
I guess when first and foremost, right? Here's this. Who we are. So you spoke about again the time. It's been what, over decades now, right?
Yeah.
So back now, the sense of it is really about who we are. So how kala ubuwa who we are? I mean, we are just souls, spirit, having a human experience, right? So how for now is like, okay, man of God actually, or romance or so. But I guess for again, we are here like we're talking. We don't necessarily have so much actually written.
Yeah.
And it's about time movement. That certain things gets whether you can
we record our history. Definitely.
You know, I think, my man, we give thanks. So again, this you doing much greater things.
Fireman.
You know,
Fireman.
I believe a certain platform like this can go actually manifest so many greater things.
We give thanks, man.
Man.
We give thanks, man. And we you know, and we just go unscripted like that. We don't really have anything in particular to look at, but I know that I spoke to you about, you know, I said, hey man, come and enlighten us, come and share some wisdom, because I know that back in the day when we would hang, you know, we would speak of profound material, some of which we only notice today still, you know, taking course now. Only today, things that we spoke about in projections of, you know, and trajectories of that time, you know, because you and I know that you went to Riverside High School.
For sure.
In fact, maybe let's start from there. Or should we go back to Melton a bit? Melton Primary School, because that was an English school.
I guess when we take it back, I guess we call ourselves those. Well, wait, we were guinea pigs then.
Oh, the guinea pigs,
Yeah, the guinea pigs of then, because now, in a good way, I believe. You know, because our parents wanted to give us better education. You know, then the whole thing, the multiracial schools,
Model C,
you know, Model C. And then, I mean, I think we were privileged to actually step into the daily. So, because I was from Kroonstad.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Is that your origin now?
yeah, go mama di Kroonstad.
Oh, okay.
So we are the primary that we go Kroonstad.
Oh, okay.
So go like
Dumela primary school.
Yeah, the medium school. You know, like standard 6.
Oh, okay.
So I get it out, you know, and by so it started 1888, you know. So I never went to crash.
You
so,
skipped. You
and then,
nursery.
Yeah, you know, I skipped nursery, and then the nicest thing got again. Go high, my grand. Hana do like go high, ne? When she retired, or studying either arrow. So making that of time she went to patching, you know. And I look at it just like, hey, this is the name to the patching. I want to sit here now. It's the name, the canal, you know. I'm like, okay, can't you? Who knows it back?
Okay. Hey, so it was skills development.
I'm like, and then I look at it now. Now when I look at it in retrospect, I didn't have anything because now it's only just better dough making and you know window frames and stuff. It's really good. So and then time I'm holding on things, you know. So my uncles, honey basa, I'm not done for honey basa honey days. Do a banana dentist. Wow, bodies are thinking. Oh, so learning from that, I would come to school. I would play up. So but it so happened or again, okay, having to meet or went to outside, but about you know. So I believe again wisdom and then transcended from your tongue because they tell you what it is. And then so moved there. So I never grew up because now my dad is from Bali. He's on top.
Oh yeah.
So I never got to Muka so by 87 days we need to again get it now. So once I said they go until 92 when you came back. So when the doors were open up, so privileged in that sense. Right? Now moving back to Bali, and then Kasi, so there wasn't any form because my grades are studies.
Okay.
So the teacher will like
okay.
You know.
Oh.
Yeah, and then case.
Oh. Yeah. And that's how. Is this how you stumble upon Val Christian?
Val Christian, you know. Yeah. So because when I learned how to do so when we moved, so she's like, hey man, when I just go look at you, so and then I can go in prevalent, you know. Because there was riots around those times, you know. So, Banana said this girl shabu and stuff. So she like these ones, I'm gonna take them because they're saying so we went to Christian. So then a year after my Christian moved to Laute.
Hey, and this is where now you get into the thick of things now.
Because now. We go to allow in a class of 22, you only have 4 of you guys.
Black. What? That's private school, man.
So, I mean, because now, when you think about 3 rivers, in China again, the people, the English people that lived around there, English people, and so we had literally British couple teachers. So we were slammed for again. You guys, you cannot articulate anything because like
oh yeah,
you know, you cannot even write an essay because of such. So we were given.
Was it tough love? If in retrospect,
yeah. You know, in that, you know, because now, you are in this space to learn, and
you are not being handled with baby soft gloves.
No,
just given
that. And because now you get to learn one thing, we are all the same. you know, I mean, we are all given platforms to actually perform to be who we are and to actually express who we are.
What?
So, in that way, again, there isn't any boundaries for you know to actually learn and explore who you actually could be. So it was nice. These people, I mean, not these people, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, even everybody around. So we made tight friends, you know. I mean, we grew up knowing literally what it is from the time where you would sit here, because we would muffle words, or when you were back home.
What?
When we used to actually watch TV, then all of a sudden this actually thing, it's second
Starts
hand.
developing.
You know,
Yeah.
second hand and it's developing and it's like, okay, so let's do this. If not this, you know. So other than that, I thought, okay, then it's just a matter of language and then what actually creativity, how it is, you know.
But for some reason, I'm of the view that with such foundations, it propelled one's thinking, if I can call it, to move from, you know, from that second nature to it became your first nature. That kind of consciousness now starts becoming your first nature. I mean, I would imagine that you probably had a white chick at some point. Because I was gonna ask that, you know, how confident are you at a time now to start expressing yourself, to start, you know, just moving around.
You know what? It's useless. I mean, already primary, you know. It's that thing of now in a group of 12 guys, like this, I mean, every day in that standard policy of ours. So we would then play catch and kisses. You know?
Yeah.
Similarly, that's what you know. But yeah, and we nearly got into trouble, because when the brothers of, you know, the ladies actually saw what actually was happening, even though actually the nicest thing was again, because now 3 rivers go melting. I mean, we're just by the river,
yeah.
So where the river passes, the mother passes them. So we don't investigate, we don't investigate. So there was this thickness. Okay, so we were playing, and then I couldn't see you from afar unless you are close. Yeah. So it just so happens like, guys, just play kisses. What? Yeah, no, you catch me and you ask me, and I'm what?
What is that? Catch what?
Catch and kisses.
Oh, catch and kisses. I don't spin the bottle, man. This guy went to a private school. Catch and kisses. What's that? What?
But no, hey guys, my mom was actually angry with me because my brother told him. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, he told him you had the game yesterday, right? It's like, yeah, and he's like, but my mom and my dad wants to come to school because
what?
We were kissing black people.
What?
And I was like, oh, yeah.
But that's
that was, you know, but then baby
yeah
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But more than anything else, that actually I picked up from actually all of these things that actually went from more from community, it's more towards rise and shine.
Okay.
Right. Milton, it was my courage and faith.
My courage and faith.
Right.
Okay.
And then
Christian.
Christian.
It was probably the gospel. Something.
You know, there's a challenge. Yeah, I can't recall that.
Yeah, no, but Riverside, perseverance.
Perseverance conquers.
Perseverance conquers.
You know what I mean? So, in all those mottos, it's like something that was engraved. At every step of the way, it was like a catapulting event in a sense. You grow at a specific time, and then from there you mold it in a way, you know. So you get to learn how again, okay, fine, this is how you handle that, because now you can have a white chick, you say.
Yeah.
It's not different from that.
You can move freely.
Yeah,
you can just be.
I mean, I don't know where we live, which is what the privilege that we were given, right? As youngsters, or being this generation that we're in, the now generation that we still, I believe, if we're not vocal about certain things, we do not give it to the generation that's coming. So we
need to fix it for
fix it for the next generations to come. Right? So where I was getting at is, if we're not aligned, right, and going back and saying, if now I have actually developed myself this far, right, and obviously because it's not necessarily nobody is okay, we are skillfully, but you need to harness that.
Yeah, of course.
So
illness to be open.
yes, so those are the platforms where actually I was learning from all those stages and right. And now when I look back, it's like, okay, fine, where do we now fit in this whole platform?
Okay.
Right. I mean, it's a very touchy subject to me. I mean, I know again I'm saying a whole lot, and I wanna, cut to the chase to say a certain thing. Is if we're not fixing certain environments, right? Firstly, yourself.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's now self-care, personal care, or
Whether spiritual, because now anything else that you intake, the words that you read, right, the food that you take, those are all food. It's like the air that you breathe, and any substance that you take into your body needs to be cognizant of which what it is that you usually do. Right. So now, why am I saying all of this thing is right? We actually have been lied to for a long time. For a long time, I'm saying is, we're now, I believe, not color doesn't matter, right? Khesa did say, till the color of your man's skin is not more important. Then we're able to unite and fight for the revelation of one nation, one love, right? So, how do we do that? I mean, where we come from, we think about it as a rainbow nation. So we actually are in it, we are immersed in it, like more than such, because now the words itself is a spelling, right? So more than that, we realize actually what it is, rainbow, meaning we are one color, that's spectrum. So when we unite and think about oneness, I think we can go further, right? So, but how do we do it? I mean, we are touching now where you and I in this conversation, I guess. Where now we realize what talent that we have, or what does we have, right? If we do have talent, how can I then empower somebody else?
Yeah.
So teach one,
Each one, yeah.
you know. So now, how I came about this, or thinking, would this actually matter? Because now society actually has enveloped and made people think in silos.
But
So even people then on high walls, because now we don't just tell them now. Like you were saying,
diminished?
you and I still alive. It means what again? We were born and bred about Ubuntu in your honor. Our parents were able to mingle with other racial groups and still be okay with it, and then someone in color and compete within the circle.
Equal.
Toe
to toe, shoulder to shoulder.
Right? So now, when you think about it, we are all just one for probably a mission that if now we have one more.
And I guess that's the calling of man, right? The calling of mankind. Because not so long ago, I had a conversation with, can't even remember who it was that was, but one of my folks.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with them, and it was more packaged in the lines of purpose. Why are we here? Why are we even alive? Because someone can it is easy for any individual to assume that life, because let's take me for example. I used to get bored with just the thought of, okay, so it's just a same rhetoric. Life is the same cycle, a rhetorical cycle that, you know, we are born, taken to crash, go to primary, high school, go to varsity, get a job, marry someone, have kids, and that's it. And then your kids also get to go through the same recurring. It's a recurring process. And I was saying there's gotta be more to life than this, man. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
That's actually an interesting thing, Abo. How about our again? What is really our purpose?
Yeah.
Which is that again, we are threefold. You are flesh.
Okay.
Yeah, you are spirit.
Is it the mind or the soul?
Yeah. Mind, body, soul, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're in that alone. I mean, how LLR again? It's probable, ne? Idea out again. When you're sitting here trying to rectify our probably tomorrow's generation, it didn't just spring up because of the thought. Ne? But it means that again somehow we actually have left here before.
What?
Ne? For it to actually come do this thing over again, probably in the right form, in the right way. We're living in times not another again. But really reincarnation does actually exist. Or maybe or again, as you actually have lived before, you are actually living through your eyes, and there's something else that is happening. So phenomenally, so we would think or a deja vu. Is it 40, 18, intuition, right?
A strong feeling. I've got a strong feeling.
I've got this gut feeling, right? And everything is a charge. Okay.
So it's energy.
It's energy, right? So when you understand the whole thing about it, right? Again, which is life and death, the whole balancing of it. But now when you actually understand it more, because now we're talking about energy, right? But death doesn't necessarily exist.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or rather, doesn't mean the end.
It doesn't mean the end.
I would put it that way.
Exactly that, right? Because now what happens is energy cannot be contained, but actually hyphae
flows, keeps flowing.
It transforms or transmutates.
Oh.
You can transfer it.
Is that where reincarnation emanates?
Yeah. I mean, you would think, or again, as a soul coming into this form, right? Or again, you're on earth, right? But in what form? Maybe again we have left certain bits and pieces of ideas along the path, or again to probably have someone to actually awaken us for a better state. Alright. Certain intuitions that you feel, certain deja vu, certain red, not left, dreams for that matter. You know? When you go into all these elements, you tend to think, okay, I cannot just actually have something and it wouldn't actually necessarily materialize.
Okay.
So we know what again now in that form, it's not necessarily a cycle, your birth and death.
Okay.
Right? And then it really has to come in, and then it means what again ultimately as a soul there's a purpose, more pure, right? And you might think, what is my soul purpose doing? And it could just be easy as being a smart person.
What? That could just be your calling. Come and smile.
Just come and smile. You know, because now, what I'm saying that because now we are bombarded with these things of society, with things, and then even books that we actually read have been distorted that much. Right? For agendas probably known to other people, but within all of those things, you know what again, whatever you consume, you actually pick out what is important out of it. And then this thing shabu to one another, you know. So for again, really it's more than how to wave about now. Because now to remember is actually being part of one.
Remember. Oh, remember.
Yes. So we are reminding each other that I am, you are God and I see my TV. So this is where Ubuntu was.
Oh.
Now, I'm not mother's keeper.
What?
So never they working in society, they having hands of land but when I feel like that, in fact, don't have to put that getting when I said, I made on now. When I was already, Mama and 3 houses for me, and I did journal on that one time. So that alone was lost in the whole thing again. The high walls. What again?
What caused those high walls?
Hurricanes. I don't know whether I can
self-preservation.
We can say that hurricane maybe security. No, because now you tend to think we can hacking blockade this thing I'm secure. But the same false sense of security in a sense, because now a guy house, the more higher walls you build, the more actually your house is looking attractive to the people. So I think that is important.
The riskier it becomes.
The riskier it becomes versus if them able to the yard is open. So it's like there's nobody that can fall out like that. Oh, I don't bother you see. Versus high walls.
So high walls are not safe.
They give us that day what it is and what it is. So yeah, man.
Wow. Because I'm sitting here, I feel like my head is going to burst any second now already, and we are just like I think 50 minutes into this. But I mean, your ideals somehow they resonate with that of your Steve Biko, Black consciousness. Is this Black consciousness, or is this African spirituality? Is it spirituality in totality? Where are we? Because I remember, just going back and maybe just also to mention that I'm trying to speak up just so as we are audible, and also to remind you also to do that. I know you are a very how do I say, what's the right way to
I'll say humble.
I know you're a humble person, but just in this one occasion, I need you to come through, man. And yes, I was going back to an era where I used to listen to some radio show. It was Rude Boy Paul and Sansa. Right now, I feel like I'm the Rude Boy Paul and you are Sansa, because I would hear this guy speak sense. Man. There's so much sense coming from Sansa, but it's blowing my head, and after he finished speaking, articulating, I can't even make sense of anything that he said. But this time around, I'm very fortunate because I'm grown. I'm able to comprehend. And that's why I trace these ideals to that of consciousness and all that, and I think we went full swing into it prematurely. I wanted us to build nicely into it, but now that we're there, just let's go into it. The spirituality, because seemingly it's a big component, is that the right word to use, of our existence?
Joe, here's this. If you're not breathing, it means life stops between, right? So there's decay in that, right? So, but it doesn't necessarily mean like you're not again energy actually died. So it just means that this casing actually is no longer here. So hence earlier on I said we are actually spiritual spirit having a human experience in that form.
Oh, right. We are the spirit having a human experience. Correct. So at some point we're gonna go home.
At some other time, So, and hence we are human beings.
Because the spirit has to belong somewhere.
It has to belong somewhere. This is just a housing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, how then do we now enhance the spirit? Now, we really either want our teachings of religion. Now, so if we eat heavier food, that email and we are able not as energy or electron flowing, everything else besides just meat and bones and blood, right? This charge, we are vibration, we are frequency, right? And when we actually understand such, we were able to take care of even what we take into our body, right? So what do I mean about that? Our body is 8% gold, over 7.5, so it's alkaline, basically. So it means if that whatever we need to enter into our body needs to be of that pH. So if we're gonna take anything else that when the processing of the yogurt being, it causes much acid, that's where we actually going to then cause a decay in the body.
Sounds even more scientific.
Well, we see that, and it's just simple thing out again. I'm a gija, Mazimba versus Apple. For a because for again, it's a Gaga Melly, ultimately, there's a with digestion, there's acid, influence, and that. So, because I'm a area on, we've been lied to for so long, right? It's these perpetuation of systems, man, so to actually numb people so that they cannot necessarily
vibrate
on a higher frequency. But also they need to lower your frequency, you know, in what you eat.
What could be done? What could be if we were vibrating in the frequency that in our optimum frequency? What is it that that could be done better than what we have in now?
Like we change our diet. We change our diet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we change our diet. We drink a lot of water, but not just water, purified water. Because now medicinal water is probably okay because now it needs to be filtered so many gunk out of it, right? But it still has a lot of chlorine and fluoride inside. So at least if your water is purified or still water, then at least it's better. What then enables you that it enables a lighter body system. So your sewer system is able to get rid of anything easier,
okay,
and quicker. So there's less acid in your blood, right?
Okay.
So in that way, you less prone to sickness.
Oh. Okay.
Right. So this is just tapping into your body, fixing it, and then obviously you have to exercise.
Yeah.
Apart from exercising, quiet time, meditation, being around nature. We live in a concrete jungle. So all these things, because concrete, everything else bounces off. So in nature, whatever you are able to vibrate. Yeah, to something. So Haraka changed it because now instead Dr. Sebi Unagua about we should eat to live, not eat to die. So which is necessarily meaning about your alkaline balance. I can solve at least give my body the whole process. I'm helping my body to actually be at its optimal. And then because now we are lighter body and of that frequency we have, the lighter we are, the it can still even because now we think how again as this being that we are in this form and around us, we've been given the privilege of we are able to actually absorb the sun and everything, the rays that they all these elements they need from the soil. So we are the sun people, we are the soil people. So how to allow all these elements again, we are part of this environment. So Hariba in all this form and Hoba aligned with it. That's when we'll be tuning ourselves into the frequency that we are actually are, or supposed to be actually at. So we will miss it because now we are cluttered with visibility. We are cluttered with the appetizers. Do not for now, but now and then how we check out the whole rounding out of it is what it was just actually to keep people in a loop of marketing or different ways.
Oh, to have them keep coming for more.
Yeah.
So it's an addictive.
It's an addictive situation.
Kind of a situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in a sense like a hypnotic rhythm. You know. So because of something you taste bad thinking, you make them out.
Hey. Yeah, that bread.
Yeah, but again, you could have actually because now it had something out. Now versus now again, what are we going to do? So it's ideas of my again. If now I have a yard.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting now to actually start to eat healthy. In my yard, it is definitely veggies, so kind of the herbals or probably in a sense in a little patch of yours. But the whole again we get to something.
Yeah.
Now, so if and we get rid of the lawns.
Because that's where we waste water and we don't even eat from that.
We don't even, my land grass. So, Hargatos grass in it, right? It means for again, we are showing ourselves off again into to push it. When I know Kimane outside just taking care of spirituality,
yeah.
There's the food going on. They are driving her again footage of foods now, shortly, whether because of hiking of fuels or the terrace and whatever else, but we are able to counteract these things, firstly by just put aside the grasses, household value for not the veggies, I mean, I'm just jumping here from the spirituality part of it, but it goes along again. How do you actually end up doing that? Because you cannot do a game with that. Let's get around you.
know, for food to
just
fall from the
heaven.
sky.
So it's those things that are fine. If it means again rhetoric, because the narrative or the thinking guy on no, this healthy eating is actually expensive. No, it's not expensive. All you just need to do is change the narrative, change the paradigm thinking, right? Where you remove the grasses. After removing the grasses, put the veggies in.
But they make our houses look nice, man. What would be house?
I mean, this one. I mean, the again, part and parcel of meditation, part and parcel of into the as you go through in the soil,
yeah,
right? This is healing therapy.
Oh, what?
Is
that why our
grannies,
yeah.
Here's this, my man. As men, I mean, no, because there is less of activities for men. We are literally our testosterone level because now we used to again bathing and we go into the garden, we go to the whatever, chop trees for wood and whatever, But now that active which actually builds up the testosterone, right? It's actually going down. Versus maybe by young Jimmy or
okay.
But how many of those guys actually are doing that? Because now you just at the end of the day. So, how to sound like anymore? It is to a zero. You have 2 seconds. I mean, there's a whole lot of elements that are more.
Oh, okay.
Hence, it's only. So, when Harry again, in all these things are again, it means in the spirit, all this body don't fell out again. This is from the soil.
Yeah.
Like shouldn't just all this element is within, because there are 4 elements again. The wind, the water, the fire, and the earth.
Hey, you still remember that? No. Yeah, man.
So now,
yeah, man.
when we do unite the elements in this again, this is what you get. This is the element. So above that, there is the spirit. Where actually is able to say, oh yeah, I'm now here. I can actually have this experience of being human, right? Despite again what is actually happening outside our world, more especially more thing on a movement again. We had spoken about it's in the midst of it, maybe. But Jaja said he would happen. He would actually take care of his children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pandemics, famine, and everything else. So these are all the cycles that they have. And then I believe again, in all of these things, correct, we are here to actually better the narrative. It's not all dark and gloom. Leon and Toya about the enhancement of the spirit. It's everybody, even Honano, I believe again there is an alignment of the earth itself, of rejuvenating itself. Movement again, it's aligning in a way where a battery have a different thinking.
Okay.
Totally on its own, because
automatically
so. So now with my again, those people that probably are talking in the same way as I'm probably talking now. Now they will actually go out, and then all this bubble will create more of the consciousness. So the more consciousness, then it will be a bubble on its own. In that, that's how we were able to win. Because when you've been talking about consciousness, the Germans, when they killed the Jews, it was never about Hitler's powerful. Right? The Jews themselves were the ones who were uttering how, they were talking negative about themselves because of how bad or how little or how they get killed. So they brought it upon themselves. So it's all those things. It's anything else that you utter, anything else that you write is a spell. The words are spell. Right? So.
But how come good fortunes don't follow my mouth?
So again, it takes more than of just utterance of words. Then there's like like charging it. So again, out of the abundance of the heart,
the mouth speaketh.
Your mouth speaketh. But it not necessarily again, I'm just gonna utter the words. You need to actually embody it, because it has come in thought first, thought, word, and action. So all these things actually go hand in hand. Without the other, it's like,
But I'm still astonished, if that's the right way to use, by a recollection of these four elements. I would have thought I think maybe I had just copied that from my classmate next door. What is the homework and all that? But seemingly, it's more prevalent than it was just a class exercise or a homework that we got in primary or whenever it was. And also, listening to you now, to me, this sounds like it should all be natural. It sounds like a natural process. Why is it now that we have to put effort into attaining what is natural? Because just like as the sun rises it's a natural process. It sets in the evening. You spoke broadly on all the is it the nutrition or the qualities that we find from the sun and all that. You marry it well with the soil and all that. But isn't that natural? Because to me now, this sounds like recently we've heard one of the popular names saying people must hug trees and they must walk bare feet and all that for the energies and all that. Is it something that we lose now by putting on our nice sneakers 100%. And Do we get out of touch with that naturality?
Exactly.
I guess that's my
So,
question.
let's go back, let's take it back. Before clothing, ne? Here, ne? In Africa, right? South Africa, here. But when they were barefoot, right? With skin leather.
Wasn't it because of
The
lack?
hide. No.
Huh?
Right.
Wasn't it before civilization, my king?
No. Human, ne? We never lack. Okay, fine. Whether you're talking civilization,
Okay,
that
alright.
doesn't mean, or again, this is actually proper. No, it's not. Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Well, because we've been lied to. So we need to recorrect this, actually this whole
The narrative.
The narrative of it. Okay. Hore, it said hore again, it's barbaric, ne, or uncivilized. But guess what? Ne? It is actually the healing of every day. Because now you are connected with nature. You are connected not only because of those 4 elements, one of them. So when the charge, when you actually do take or again actually put into cognizance, or you're actually absorbing this charge from the sun, into your whole body, you're able to begin to actually let it through out and you go through into the soil. And then whatever is in actually get it back again, you can take it out.
And I guess it makes sense in that sense, because I myself, we were speaking off air and I told you of my spiritual journey in 2018 and where I went for my initiation to become the traditional healer that I am. And I remember the initiation, which is Lefehlong, obviously. We walk barefoot, and
now you are connected with you connect with the ground.
Yeah, and I guess it speaks to everything else, because you must remember, when you are that kind of a person, you are a spiritual being. Dreams speak. It's all these energies flowing. You get these dreams, you get this prophecy. You are grounded. You are rooted. We even sleep on the floor.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I guess I never made sense of it. That why is it that? But how you speak of it, it sums it nicely.
So, because that's what it is. And every time, when you're talking about even the when Hanisbai is around the fires, and that's how actually everybody, like your Khoi said, that's how they would actually do it around the side. Walk around when they actually calling their ancestors, when they actually for the transcend of whatever they want to hear. So that's how they would actually do with barefoot. So literally, it's not necessarily about civilization. Yeah, surely you get warmer. But talking about it.
But even with
the cold. But here's this. I recently had a privilege of actually meeting up with King Khoi.
Hey, and I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna ask you about the your profile picture.
Yeah.
Who is that man? I know that he was in the Union Building and all the. Is that the king?
That's the King Khoi.
King Khoi.
Yes.
What does that mean?
He's King Khoi.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a Khoi San king. So he's King Khoi.
King Kong.
He's a Khoi San king. Khoi San king. So he's a King Khoi San. So that's how he is. He's King Khoi San.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is he like the king of the Khoi Sans?
Yeah.
What?
So he's king of the Khoi San. Been now 3 years in Union Building. So we as Khoi, we need to actually get our rights together, right?
Okay.
But now we need to actually Cape Town's not doing anything. So we walked to Cape Town to manifesto and nothing actually happened. So now we wanna go to Victoria, right? But now before we can go to Victoria, let's we cannot just jump there and walk there. So who's willing to walk with me? So they
walk from Cape Town to Pretoria. What?
So what he did was, so he went to people that were hiking to Cape Town. It's like, guys, I'm walking to Cape Town. Are you guys going to Cape Town? It's like, yeah, no. But you're hiking. It's like, no, I'm walking. You wanna
To
come
Pretoria.
No, at that time too.
Oh.
He was in Appleton going to Cape Town.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I wanna go there. So let's
Let's walk.
It's too far. No, it's too far. So now, fine. So he gathered all his clan, even the elders, the young ones, and everybody else. So it's like, guys, I have a mission that to go to Pretoria to claim this thing of ours. So who's in with me? Who's gonna walk with me? But like, whoa. Okay, but how do we do it? Then they practice at the bunch. Let's then take 40 kilos in a day. So 20 going and 20 coming back, And then they did that. It's like, okay, fine. We were able to now figure that we can walk. But now he's like, you know what? We've been doing this thing walking, but walking alone, it's in a good condition type of day. It wasn't raining, it wasn't doing anything. It's like we need to actually walk when it's cold or when it's actually raining, So fine day, then it was like, okay, fine, we wait. But then one day then obviously started to rain. So they would walk. And it's like, okay, they feel it, this is what they should feel. So because why he said he was thinking like by the time when they were actually walking to Pretoria, if it starts raining or anything, they will what I call catch up, hide in the garage somewhere. So, going later. So they felt, okay, fine, we've gathered some and let's go. Right. So as he was going, before then they were going, came a time when there was hay. So to just show how human body or how it is, right? Tough and stuff. So because these people are
tolerance.
Tolerance. These people are still not these people. My king is still in leather hide, right? Still today, even in unit building now. So what he did, then the hail was on. So it's like, this time this hail was actually hitting and it was bad. And when you looked actually at the cars, these cars were dented. But nothing of
no bruises.
No bruises. So that's how the body is actually, because now it's in its prime. So you actually put it to that. I mean, it doesn't mean necessarily but this is actually it's capable of doing similar to the immune system. If you take care of your immune system, it will actively do it. So this thing that you are sick or you are positive or you're not vaccinated or whatever, go vaccinate. I mean, your immune does the normal job it's supposed to do. All you just need to do, like I was saying, if you actually take the proper foods that are herbs into your body, automatically your cells will be reactivated to actually function at its optimum. Easy, it's not rocket science. So now, this whole thing out again, you've been lied to, and then I'm trying to know, let's just put them in here. So the body, it's proper. Then we go about this is not okay. We are actually in a proper time or in an era now where we are going green. In that it means we will be able to actually have garments now. They are able to breathe when it's cold or when it's hot. It's actually able to maintain the body temperature, and I'm talking about
Hemp.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's gone where again marijuana is bad.
Oh, those days are gone.
Yeah, man, it's that age is gone.
Is it now acceptable?
Yeah, my man, I'm telling you.
And I appreciate it.
It is about that time movement out again versus cotton. I believe, but how am I? They can go do their own research. Take hemp and take what is like cotton. Or actually hemp or madabani, they actually it does far greater benefits than into cotton. Movement out again. Going to sickness in a way. Yeah, no hemp because like not anything being started when it's said it actually again.
That's a green project, no?
Yeah. So it's part and parcel. I mean, these walls are like everything else is it's like gone is those times money. Everything else was there for just to suit, to feed. Life is simple. I don't know if you understand, like, life is
To
because
feed fantasies.
because now to eat for just for the nice of things, it means what again, actually you are eating to die. I wasn't actually necessarily taking care of my body. So now when we actually think of it as like, I can actually take care of my body certain way like this, it means what again, those hard houses that we used to live in soil, thatch, they were proper, and why they were around.
Why, in fact?
Actually, everything else came, that the flow of air is the height of energy, which goes, it's
It's a circular movement.
Motion.
Okay.
So everything else, it's able to breathe. And hence you would do harm.
Because I remember those houses, they would plaster. In fact, I give you a soup, but dealer, couple of home.
Yes.
Mm.
Now, when you're on again, because it was Christ that was so everything else, they in that way. So Leonard Hemp, that era. Wow. Folk corner houses sitting around. These things go feel like it's one of the needs of corner or they hinder. Open and go about solution. How do we actually get solution around these certain things to uplift the or to maintain the frequency there? So these the type of shape that you follow. So this shape you can reach.
Is that why I really for the frequency, for the energy
flow.
Makes sense, man.
Highly cornered.
I think you're gonna read more initiate than more graduates. Yeah, man.
So high is it'll bounce off instead of working because now it really circular motion. So like how good it's everything is motive. So how I understand that from that, you plan to go for again. Everything actually is circular motive type of motion. Fibonacci sequence is defined. So how I understand that from that already is that it means what again lay the flow of things in you to be as like that. So the houses, what do you do the environment? Yes, we've been living in compact spaces. It's deliberate. Who actually wants to? Because now, what it actually diminishes that or actually cuts is that we're talking about everything around you, the trees, like the exude energy from it's all. So, how no we are all covered. So, how you link to go like in it's bad pollution. Now, so a way of certain thinking or how we are pollution. Again, they actually to save my so that again they can deal with, but actually they are good in a way. So what I'm talking about if everywhere else, we're actually going to eliminate or improve our pollution, more especially for animals.
It's got positive attributes to the ecosystem.
For sure, because what it does, it's able again to take the pollution in the air, because
combat it
because like everything is into and it cleans the air, it gives it carbon. So everything else is going about cleaner. So it's called factor remediation.
There's that thing again.
So that's how those are other elements of again actually how nature when we take care of nature actually takes care of us. Alright, irritate pollution in that way. Yes, but everywhere else, but they're not necessarily planting a tree. So in an harnal into So you need to say, what is it with again that we've been taught, and it's literally we need to read between the lines, because now in that no, but again they wanna deal, it's criminal, but hard learn about uniting the elements. Rastafari with the kush, it's water in there. Yeah. So and limits, so how bushel, how good, everything else it's actually from the earth. So when you light it up, it's fire. There's water in there. So when you put it in, so you unite the element.
Is that in a good way or in a bad way? Irie man. I'm curious to know. You've touched on the king of the Khoi. Occupy. Is that the right word to use?
Yes.
The Union Building.
In fact, let's put it right. It is I get it. That is the national stronghold. Yeah. So we have another Aborigine, right? Stronghold, right? In Union Building. So Aborigine Palace.
Okay.
Yeah. So mankind lives in Union Building. So he did walk all the way from there to actually the Union Building, and he stayed there for long. And even time, because now people like answer short, we go back to the it's like it's about going back to the basics, going back to what things used to be, which is just normal holiday. Whether we think it's weird to walk around with kilts or leather hide. But when I actually, he evoked something in, it's like, yeah.
Now we're not some shine. You're gonna call it what it is. Call it out.
How you check out it's about authenticity.
But authenticity all too often separates you from society.
I get we've said her again. Like it's perpetuation of what they want you to do for their own.
Who's this? The superpowers?
System. Let's call it system.
System, man. Yeah, man.
Alright, that's what they want to do so for your own, for their own, right? So when you feel again, you don't necessarily need somebody else's saying, right, this is how you need to do work to actually live. This is how and knowing well, this is how actually I lived all along. So it means, surely we talked earlier on, you say it means civilization has moved forward. Like whether or not we think about it, they still call. And if we look at the use that into the core, it means we are losing who we really are. Because now we're able to say, out of this thing, I'll choose this one, not this one, and this one, and then okay, I'll do this one. For who? Because in the Rashid again, somebody else is gonna look at us. Yeah, are you ready for that day? How do you about again? This is actually what we are. Because now, what he is and what he's standing for, right? Still today, the Khoi language is not even recognized. Out of their 11 languages.
But let's speak of their significance even. What's the significance of the Khoi? Yes, man.
It is about time movement again. Like we're about rainbow children and why we actually lived the way we did, and right here in South Africa, right? So because we haven't documented certain things actually have fell through the loops, right? Because now we sat around the circle and then certain information then with elderly people actually diminished, right? Or went through the cracks. But good thing is there are people, historians around that actually have picked up, right? why is it that we are this rainbow children?
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, the rainbow children, it's different multitudes of people coming together at a certain point.
Okay.
Right. There is currently now at least evidentially so. Credo Mudone spoke about the late Dr. Credo Mudone spoke about again why we are this great as children of the South, but people didn't take heed of what he was actually talking about. There are ruins, historical ruins around the belt of Drakensberg, all around here in Namibia on the other side. Movement are like in these things, the ancient buildings that actually were aligning and depicting about the calendar. Or how actually it's called the Adam's calendar.
That?
Adam's calendar.
Oh, the Adam's calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is those ruins actually they are depicted the same way as what Egypt actually was. So where we are here is everything else that actually was taken and was planted and moved, documented and planted into where Egypt was or is what actually these bigger structures actually included. So the pyramids, what you see, is actually information from the South.
Hey.
So Adam's calendar. Go research it.
Okay.
Yeah. You find again all these ruins or again the greatness of people who lived here in South Africa. Hence Rainbow Nation. It will be evident as actually into the data because nothing under the sun is hidden. So when these things, it's on a feed us with nonsense and media because who they really are. Get food so that we can start on tuna. Tempo actually for me because I was expecting to go food. Because yes, we actually had this discussion before because we lived before.
That's deep, man.
Yeah. So it's now the narrative of actually making sure again. Now it's not high limona, it's generational. Generation to generation. So that it's no longer about we read it somewhere. No, we're hearing it and it's actually here. So when we recognize and realize who we are as not just I'm an entity more way. What is your surrounding? We under about earlier on is us being because we were forever rich. We never saw us as lacking to actually have clothing on top of us.
And you still had the minerals.
And then we still had the minerals. And again, those animals, no. We took care of nature because nature took care of us. We went there, we would kill that animal only because we would know what again we're gonna get the letter for tonight because when I'm mama I say they probably in form of clothing or the hoto bata for certain things. So that's how actually we clothe ourselves. So when we actually do that, I mean it was never about again. I don't know there's less species because now they've been poached because of chile. So getting to this thing again. That is barbaric. No. That actually wasn't barbaric. That was a way of life. It was in tune of life, in tune with earth and whatever it is supposed to. So we knew again, this is what it is. So this is how the teaching used to be. So now, goodness is a beast, my lord, right?
Yes, okay.
Where we are at right now, we cannot, you and I, we cannot let the platform go on with this narrative. And I believe again it's time then we switch off the same media that actually it's been given to us, and start finding, go deeper, because in the times of high times you're able to find out, okay, how do I now, or who am I? The answer will come to you, because there's forever a voice that talks to you, 10 left, 10 right.
And this is not just even a soul search only.
No.
This is like a self-discovery,
yeah.
self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, well, okay, fine. So, because now your body's life.
Yeah.
Which are proper, not
Yeah, man.
anything heavy.
Yeah, man.
Wow. So, got a logo now. Okay, I need to meditate. The breathing helps.
And you speak very fondly
Yeah.
of a particular diet, and there's an emphasis that you have when you keep saying eat light, eat the correct food and all that. You recently turned 40. is that why you're still looking fresh, man?
That's it. I think, but I think when I mean, because now,
Yeah, we all do. Who doesn't?
Anyway, so you get to learn how again. There are those things most man again. The nicest things are the ones who come again you don't necessarily need. So, I got a sweet tooth, and all these nice things. But I got to learn how again. As much as such, it's not good for me, because to make check, I think I was in fact a weight conscious couple.
Okay.
More than that, I believe when I checked out my blood group,
yeah.
So I found out how to get my blood type, which is group A minus. I'm supposed to be vegan.
Okay.
Yeah. So diet how check a diet again. I mean, not necessarily diet, but how check your blood group. What's suitable for you. For the body, again, your body is able to digest this so much or so little, and it didn't include that. So when you understand that, or again, what you're taking, maybe how you're gonna break it down or to burn it, whether exercise or something better. So unlike we just had to then you come
bigger.
And then more than anything else, the cognizant is you call it high blood pressure, it's arterial high blood pressure. Because now all the clogging of cholesterol and fat in the arteries, that's what's actually causing people to those BP, or they stroke or cardiac arrest. Because then your arteries are actually clogged.
This is like a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no flow. So lack of oxygen in your body. So those are the things. So again, how can I say it?
You sound. I mean, I know this is a conscious talk, but one part of it sounds very much scientific, and it makes me curious. I know we were together in Pretoria. I think you were studying biomedical science or something.
I did biomedical. Well, in Pretoria, here's this. Certain things they tell you that again, I'm gonna take this route, and you're like, I don't wanna go that route. I believe probably making the doctor, just too long to this thing. So you'll get something else.
Like medicine.
Yeah, medicine.
Oh yeah.
So you'll get something just that's aligned anyway. Yeah. So I thought, okay, here's by med, then pharmacy, and I was like, okay, by med, let's just do by med. So being in the crux of those, you understand the science is now. So science actually does play a role in everything. So physics, so everything you think about is actually life. So with science, he just taught me again. As minute as the atom in the system, or as minute as the atom in the there's a colossal, which is the universe. So that is just a bigger electron function or system universe is in her. So there's forever that exchange of energy in her, no matter what. You know. So meaning for anything else that actually I utter, the universe brings it back to me. You know what I mean? So when you do understand that, you become cognizant of the fact that out of the abundance of the heart, it's actually words that need to be literally building for me. As there are spells, I'm actually putting spells on top of myself. So when you speak bad to somebody else, they will start.
You're bringing it back to yourself.
You know what I mean?
Fair exchange.
Well, the next person doesn't necessarily have to go, I want to start that, no. It means that way, nah? You're gonna, if you're reacting, you are moving yourself into that person's energy, and then you disrupt your flow into that manner, because you're taking something that is not you. So, in that, again, you realize it means we are able to, we actually, for anything else that there is around us, we are actually co-creators. So I can say something and I can believe what it is, and then actually meditate upon it, and then it will actually happen. Because I've actually said whether this actually will happen then. Because actually meditating upon it, I'm putting thought process into it. Not just, so then we understand that consciousness actually is this energy they have. And we get to know if energy is that powerful, it means if I'm sitting here, we are able to telekinesis or telepathically communicate. And then you can pick it up. Or Thato, you can just say something. It means then synchronicities, how tuned are you? So it's those things that when you are in tune, when you actually have been meditating and you're conscious of your surroundings, you're conscious of nature that is all around you. Science, there's science everywhere. So it forever tells a message, it forever says or directs you in a sense, or being as you know where you are. Be here or be not here. So when you have lost such, you cannot see. You wouldn't even think or again if you do such a thing like that's consciousness. Because
man, this sounds like information overload. And I'm just thinking to myself, now that with so much, in your head, that you can just naturally, articulate it like this. I'm thinking to myself that, of course, you pursuing a career in science, faculty of sciences. Having now learning, grasping, filling into the full cup, if I can use that analogy, because to me it sounds like the cup is already full. Doesn't that mess with you now somehow? Because seemingly you've gone an extra mile to go deep into the well of life, which comes back into the life cycle to inform, your scientific understanding, how do I even say? But to inform, yes, your scientific understanding. Doesn't it come back to interrogate now new information that you're learning? In fact, maybe the question is, are you even practicing now? Because I remember the last time many years ago, you were in Centurion, working in some lab or something of that sort. I don't know.
What happened was, So around, so I actually was into, so I moved from, I did biomedical tech, right? So from there, you guys, so I worked with the guys, so it's science-based, you know, right? So we were doing vaccines then for livestock in the southern Africa.
Okay.
So
Cattle and
cattle, sheep, pig, name them, all of them. So we were working with a guy who actually who created biological warfare, man, for Bumande.
Bason.
Bason, yeah.
What?
I worked with the Thato Khesa. Yeah, Thato Khesa. Because because it was veterinary, obviously because now I was from the healing side of it, but I was fortunate to actually work for Batwaneza that for veterinary based.
Okay.
For livestock. So, and now with my background thing was actually to test human samples and what they actually were living on, and like actually having to work for them and do these vaccines for farms in the southern Africa. So which was nice. I mean, we had Hemp spores in the fridge.
What? Like, here's the thing.
So yeah, so we worked with such people. So that at the end I felt okay, because now I remember I actually had this thing out again, doctored in so then go back again to the field, biomedical pathology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went back into pathology. So we are testing, you know, when they for blood samples,
and
then we analyze such. So we know everything else that needs to actually how to improve on this is actually what's happening in the
blood samples.
Form, so to versus how again, and this is right. So it helps, you know, you can actually have a bulb monana, but how inside you go actually there's a bacteria that's actually causing the sickness.
Okay.
So you
study that under the microscopic.
You know what again when you are actually a colossal bacteria. So when it's unfavorable, actually doesn't start decaying, it becomes disruptive. So hence again, everything else that you take into your body, you actually sustain your body for its optimal function. So in that, so but again, so in China again, we are sick. You're not necessarily sick, you are in lack of vitamins and minerals. When you start ingesting what you actually ended up making for you to pop, for your headache or whatever, it's a temporary alleviation.
Not really fixing the problem.
But it actually causes something else afterwards.
Repercussions.
So we've been lied to
again. It looks like we are
I ended up this is the pills that we do it. I mean, so got out of those having to make vaccines to pathology. From pathology I further studied pharmaceutical science.
Okay.
So pharmaceutical science is actually the formation the pills. How do you develop pills from A to Z to regulate it and qualify it and stuff. So in that I actually ended up working for a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
Where we would actually make a schedule 4 in vitro injectable.
For women to
but injectable.
Okay.
I'm actually in vitro, but I was injectable.
Okay.
So for people with chronic renal failure.
Chronic
renal failure. So meaning your kidneys failure diseases. So in other words, because now what happens is with lack of there's lack of production of your blood cells, so which actually increase that the functioning right? From the functioning of the kidneys. So that in you it's off from the marrow. So it means what you are deficiency from your marrow. So what you did actually, we take that from your kidney hamsters, and then because on your kidneys, there's a hormone that is produced called erythropoietin, which is the coloring your cells.
Okay.
So that is a your build up, your red blood cells from your kidneys. So if you don't have that, your kidney failure, and then that out. So it increases your red blood capacity there. So we take that from your kidneys, formulate that, and until such time it's actually in a bottle form to be tested on to actually be given to patients. So you will understand, that's how you do it. And literally so, as pharmaceutical scientists or as pharmaceutical companies, right? I think again.
But you are a scientist. He is a scientist, isn't he? Because I was going to ask in simple terms. What are you, my man?
Yeah, man.
Scientist.
So
that's it. Done.
Because
oh yeah.
How if money we make these pills and then how we start again. This pills is sharper for this long. Hence the doctors would actually decide to give you a script, prescribe you. Alright, don't drink this or drink this for 7 days. Don't exceed any other time. Or think the ways that take 14 days, if not consult your doctor. How check that the side effects, toxic effects are things. Those are actually happening. Those are actually literal things that actually will cause you. For example, right now, we literally say, and then you know more
10 days.
Don't even drink it more than 10 days. It causes gastroenteritis. Meaning what again is that it chows your inner lining, your stomach. Right? Don't consume that because now if you're on to it's acid based, which is what I'm saying. Aspirin, so what they do, it chows everything else. But now, temporary alleviation, instead of fixing the solution or fixing the problem. So that's not a solution. In fact, what it actually happens is you go to hospital, and that's what actually happens till such time. What? We're not again life is all about impulse and passive. No, it means what again we could go back and then take care of what we take into our body. Make sure that I've got actually headache. Maybe actually can solve your headache. There's other herbs, remedies that are actually natural to actually combat all these things. Why am I again probably as passionate maybe with all of these things? Is I actually lost a wife 3 years ago from lung cancer. And she was not a smoker of any form, but I believe when I actually look at that, it's the environment because now my hemang around it because now body is going into toxins in the air or the soil, the sewer runnings, and you know what I mean. Alright, there's something else actually because it's saying lung cancer out of it. We jump up from stage 1 to stage 4.
Isn't it hey man, and maybe let me just first things first. Of course, we've already spoken of the record, and I wasn't thinking that it's gonna come up even, but now that we're there, but I'm just also on record. I'm sorry for your loss. I could not have imagined. I can't imagine it for anyone else. For myself, even I'd go now. I can just imagine what it did for you. To you rather. And I'm sincerely sorry, man, for that experience, man. I was going to ask a question, and then of course, now that we're there, we'll talk about it. And I was going to ask a question that, because you say, how does it, someone that doesn't smoke to, contract, is that the right? Reduce lung cancer, move from stage 1 to stage 4, right?
Yeah.
And now, how when you ask that question, in my naivety as just a regular, not as a scientist, I'd ask that, Kanti, isn't that hereditary?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
In terms of heredity, right? Actually, when you went into it, I know, right? Does it mean when I lay anybody else say of Manara or Banale history of cancer in the family? And so I actually ruled it out, and I didn't invest it further, because I think more than that, environment.
Yeah.
When I actually looked into it, again, the environment, because now, for the longest time, actually, she actually studied go Christian.
Okay.
So that area in LA about Khoi, so the ground on its own it was ashy. So it means again there was forever dust.
Oh, because it's a mining area. Yeah.
So under those towers, let's say, and I get the new right? So more of the tower.
Yeah.
So now that area that we are getting is toxic. I mean, there's forever fumes in the air. So that's how I actually viewed it, and I'm yet to find somebody else for again. And I'm getting order for long, so that to find out how's your health. One shot. So because that's the other thing I thought about it. It's like, so it drew out that the heredity part.
Oh yeah, I see.
So, and which is why again, my passion then, it's ultimately the whole thing when I think about it. Oh, okay, fine. You see how again you get to be driven and be with it somehow. Certain things happen to build you up.
Yeah.
But also for you to gain strength so that you are able to see a light a different way.
Yeah.
So that ultimately we don't repeat the same cycle over and over.
Yeah.
So when we now sit here, it's like, okay, why are you working? Am I passionate about what? I mean, she passed on a similar about smoking.
Yeah.
And with that, the whole system again, because it has been there actually for temporary alleviation, and certain things they body implying at the end they appear, right? I'm talking about chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Chemo on its own doesn't give life. It actually executes. It does away with it, right?
That's it. It speed up.
Yeah, it speeds up the death process.
What?
One time. So, which is that, and now where I sit, and you spoke, you said earlier on, we are scientists, and then as a scientist, before all of this thing happened, in 2017, after getting married, even prior that, I actually thought to myself, what is it that one's supposed to do, in this world? That's how it's moving, because I understood there needs to be a new form of drugs in a way, because now these drugs are not giving life.
When you say drugs, you mean medicine?
Medicine.
Hey, because it almost sounds drugs.
Because that's what it is. These things, we want to sugarcoat it getting medication, but it's drugs.
Oh, yeah.
They're not giving life, they're actually taking it away. So versus the total what are they doing about that? And I think we are at a point in time where even nature on its own is revealing and giving me a platform to say, I am sick and tired of you giving pollution and all these things so that the ozone layer is cracked as it is, and then you guys are the ones who did this, and then you're crying about, and you know, so they're not giving solutions. So now there's a solution for everything. Oh Lord.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So no longer that time where we can believe certain things can happen. We know things can actually happen. So, and we're not ignorant towards it. So it's just about matter of changing the paradigm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now, when my then with chemo, right? Process for what can actually better chemo.
Again.
Yes, I found.
Hey, this thing seems like the all problem solution, right? All rounder.
Yes. So more to again. Later on, because now it's a natural form of healing. You know, long time ancestors and our elders actually used this medicinally. So Rastafarians still do it.
Yeah.
You know, as a sacrament or you know anything else, but you know it's medicinal, it's proper.
And it's also good for recreation, I guess.
Recreational again, you know. So you know that what Mali says, no more war. The whole thing, when you look about it from then again, why they actually decriminalized it, it was because you and I were, it was actually getting people happier, people were actually getting around each other, and it was proper, you know. So that whole oneness that everybody actually was able to
easy skanking,
where everybody else could now understand that my brothers were key, you know. What's mine is mine. So this thing, to a point, there was that whole interracial mixing and mingling, and which they didn't want, right? And then it's like cutting this thing, criminalize it for what, you know. But then again, time it is where we find it. Actually, this can be realized for the benefit of people.
Wow.
You know. So now
it's a secret tree.
Yes, I've heard. You know, they don't call it the holy herb for nothing.
Yes, I mind.
So to a point. When now, how it does it, ne? Cancerous cell, right? When it's like that, when chemo comes in, because it is off acid again, right? So when it looks actually at the cell, it doesn't identify the sickly cell or the virus itself or the cancer itself, right?
Okay.
So what it does it chows everything that is in its path.
Cleans.
So let's just look at it. This is just a cell. So if this is a cancer cell in it, so what it does, everything else. So there's no more reparation. You cannot repair that from that because it's dead.
Oh.
Versus now, already now here's the receptors, the cannabinoidal receptors, there's something else in Munana, and so it sends it. Movement in the cell is it identifies something that is foreign, it chows it away, and then the cell that is sickly, it repairs it and rejuvenates it.
Is it now when you drink it?
Yeah, you can drink it, you know. Now at least again we actually can extract it or
turn it into a liquid
form, into an oil form. So you can actually take that. So meaning to concentrate the amount of THC in that. So
that's the
tetrahydrocannabinoid. So which is the THC that makes you high, psychoactive ingredient in it. So those CBDs, what they actually do, which is your cannabinoidal, right? So they actually find that cell that is cancerous and then make sure that none of the foreign material is charred away. It's called apoptosis, that process, right? So, and they rejuvenate the cell. So when I ask these people, I'm like, Doc, tell me now, you took my wife and then you gave her chemo, right? And then you told her now, doesn't mean that she's all that thing is gonna recuperate, and then doesn't necessarily give her 5 years extra or anything
Why is
else.
she even going there?
Precisely that. So wasn't there any form of organic or some alternative medicine or probably procedure that they should give them this? It's like, okay, fine. Under the table or off the record, there is. It's just that we don't have
The power to endorse it.
even the research aside, it's actually overseas, and then now I cannot take it saying, okay, go give somebody else. It's like, but now this is actually what happens instead of actually putting people through chemo. Then means, what are we doing? Similar thing of giving people pills for headache. What are we doing? So now there needs to be that whole thing that as much as, and you see the system is about making money out of this stuff. So it's not making necessarily patient or it's making customers out of it. And we now we cannot just have sit back, So now, good things is mighty ascended with knowledge, with wisdom that still has been all around. That says there is. I can give you, or the soil shall feed you. The soil shall provide anything else that can alleviate or nourish your body. You know what I mean? And with that, if you do take care of this, it shall be the same. So it goes back whether it's soil or it's environment.
King Thato, I have not asked you this question, Morena. Have you healed from
Yes.
I know. I can't even expect you to, because I'm just putting myself in your shoes, and I'm thinking, I don't know how to come out of that hole, man. I wouldn't know how to come out of that hole. But have you healed yourself? Are you good?
Yeah. We give thanks, but mighty always guides and takes care of his children.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't have done it without going within, and having, the people around me probably, that whatever support. Love around is actually what actually makes it here. So in that, I learned, I guess, again, this is we are in a journey. This is a journey that we are in, right? And with these experiences that we go through, whether good or bad, right? Because then, it needs to be balanced, right? So it's actually about learning what it is that's actually happening and realizing there's more than just you. So in that, I'm healed, and it was for the journey of me healing, so that actually I could be an assistance to other people for them to also heal. When you think about it, it's like how can actually a young guy like that who's 18, that kind of thing. But it happens to many of us. So it's just that, again, when your focus is derailed, I think it came in a proper time, I guess, again, where now the healing in it is actually to see the products of whatever she went through, right? Because I guess she wouldn't have where now we're finding healing forms of alternative forms of healing, right? It wouldn't have come to this form or this time around if it didn't actually go through that. So it's actually a curve of a learning, and actually another empowering in a sense, giving strength, to go on, not to actually give up. It's like, okay, there's something else that can actually happen to actually help somebody else, not necessarily closer, but the world is at large. So which is what's actually going to happen. So 100% so we are at the verge of creating alternative forms of medicine in this now.
Respect, man. We give thanks, man. On a lighter note, a million rands, my man. The man to win 1,000,000 rands. Yeah? Yeah? Who does that? Yeah? Tell us, take us through it, man. Because I remember, I mean, and I guess it ties also with the legacy of your dear wife. So rest in peace. But I'm sure even where she is, she's smiling and knows for sure that you know what, God really gave us the best. I mean, take us through that.
Yeah, man. You know, so here's this, right? I believe it's important. Nobody's called to you by chance.
Yep.
Right. But as much as that has happened, right, it still needs energy. You still need to put more wood to the fire. You know, for it to work.
Yeah.
Right. So, this lady, I mean, I met her while driving the whole story I think. I met her obviously in 92. So we are 10 years old toddlers right there. So right then and then, I mean, to know her against that charge, that whole, the God, that feeling that we were going earlier. There's something about this thing that says, I know this person, but I've been with this person, and that like 10 years
it's
old.
that connecting feeling.
Yeah, connection type of feeling.
So that's
So I mean, 10 years old, I already knew what it came to.
I'm gonna marry you.
I'm gonna marry you.
What?
Words, I mean, the words tend to think they like, but there's something else here actually. Changes but we all blama like that's how to
Okay, just local.
Local. So now, it's a lot of Norman when it comes about, because that's the whole story. So how it is like these people who are going to be it was like, okay, tell us a story about you and your couple, or you and
your partner. Yeah.
So that why would make you, why is it essential?
Yeah.
What's it about?
So you told the story of
so
how you met in
So it was a story where I met her here, and took out the truth, and because
you took out the tooth.
Yeah, like
you were a dentist with a string. With a string. On the way.
Coming in the morning, let me see. No.
Painless.
I don't wanna do that. You know what? And I don't hang a thing. You sit into my
blazer.
Go shitting yard. Exclusion. My life. What am I button?
Yeah. Yeah. This guy goes an extra mile, yeah?
So that button, you go, you know?
What?
And, okay, fine. So, it moved over again, our high school, and then we high school.
You're in the same high school now?
So she was still at Riverside, she was still
Val Christian. Yeah.
But then Flop obviously, I guess, as a teenager, parents really very strict, and then all they think about so this is a thing, all they wanna do is,
be protective.
Yeah, and I'm with man, I don't want ultimately, it's like, so it felt like that because now she felt, this is becoming between me and Mary.
Oh, yeah.
So I cannot do this every hour is heartbroken. So I've never felt so heartbroken ever. But either way, I was like, instead this game I was much basketball or sports, right? So to get it off, I was like, basketball.
Bouncing.
It's like,
Oh, so she was a rebound. I see.
Well, later on, but it's just went on, right? This time I'm really like Farage forever. Like however, or something, you know. And it's like okay, and it took me 3 years. Most of my life, I wasn't dating, and through that, you know, it was part and parcel of the spiritual growth. You know, so finding and knowing how again this is me, and then this is what actually I want, and then all this crafts and stuff. So it could be myself, you know. Crap. And the day I met her, my man, Nick. At that time, actually, I was at church.
Yeah.
So she's a shy type of person. For again, an altar call, I think she would just sit there and it's like, okay, sitting there, like she would never, or it would take her something. But that day, you know, yes, surely the seminar was proper, and I knew everything. I came, you know, at the right place.
Yeah.
Lady, here she is. She passed my heart. Wow.
Hey, skips a beat.
Well, grand. The next thing your money Hemp on, and I'm like, okay, hard. Right. Okay. So I'm like, anyway, I'm coming home, all, you know, bubbling. Magrizi. Yo, Magrizi, guess what? You know, I just go and my long stuff, bro. What? Thato Khesa don't just at our seminar. It was mad. It was like, it was proper, you know.
Not even.
You know. All to give a night game to now, and the conviction, Lord.
Yeah.
You know. I knew that there and then already.
It's time.
Wow.
Do or die.
Whether or not you. The guy is like, it was a Sunday, obviously. No.
Same day.
Same day afternoon, okay. Like
I'm not wasting any more time. I've already lost 3 years.
I went, you know. Yes, big dog. But yeah, they had
That's fresh right there.
Yeah. You know, I'm living the goal. Yeah, again, I'm not even thinking when I'm in jail or any. I negative on anything, right? Yo, I can eat it in here, but it's huge though. You know? So I can feel like eating, so see these bulls. Yeah, so nothing was Sarah. Yeah, King, I am mama, okay.
Oh, yes. Humble.
Nico pa, okay. Kuna mundu ya kufuna hapa.
Like there she is.
I melted all over again.
Oh no!
The boy, the thing is like, yo, Len. Obviously, and she's
wow. Yeah.
Where you come from? Hey, I came to drop news. What? I'm marrying you.
What?
From today, you and I are
engaged.
This is this. I hate.
Just parachuting.
Well, it's not me. Actually, I'm directed and I'm sent. No. So I've been waiting, and then this is actually the answer. So, not necessarily what again because you're clicking and then you tend to make it because it could be but it was really that authentic. And so now what happened was can be playing with let's just do this. Yeah. Then I was still working for Centurion.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is now after tertiary now.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the other life.
You know this. So give you a good thing. Was trying. Now, and I'm thinking, I was making tricks now, guys. And I'm telling, hey, let's do this. And it came about. And I got a gator, and she went into that out again. I got nothing, but oh, I know again this thing is going to happen.
Yeah.
And
That's a conviction.
yeah. So no matter what, and through it all, we've said this before, and then I'm reminded her again, this is actually what I needed to do.
It's God's plan.
And I might say to you, Farine, before then, all probably the exes that I mean, you would get across them like that, or people talking. It was like reliving like the steps that actually were taken. Again, because I believe again, as people, like when we connect, souls will forever connect, and then those that actually are of each other will literally stick with each other. So actually, which is what actually had happened. So love is certain things like an energy; it can never be lost. So we can transfer it or transmute it. So you're not adding you.
So you shared this story with the magazine.
I shared this story with the magazine. Like, this is what actually happened. So, and guess what, Baba? Besides just writing the story, my lord, she was like, and we haven't really told her that in you. Story seminar. We actually had went to the expos, So for the entire you need to put yourself into it.
Yeah.
So, in thought, in word,
in action.
Yeah. Alright. So, again, we now find ourselves at the engaged. What do you do?
Yes, like when you're saying you're looking for a job, you want a job. Yeah, of course, you're thinking of it that I need a job, and then that's in thought, right?
Yeah.
And then in word, it is where you say, I need a job. In action is where you actually apply, put your
in the CV, taking funding or again, where are they available, and then suitability again, and then those are and in those, ultimately the body will experience it. So you're not in here, so we can do this. Let's do this. Fine. Reveal the exponent and then there was that thing out again. Because they would do again on our pricing or actually would cater for this or cater for that. And we thought, this would actually work for us more if again. Our ratings actually catered for. Like we didn't actually even just want to So because
so you wanted a perfect wedding?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily a perfect wedding. Because I'm a nature type of person. So, and we had an idea of actually having a getaway type of wedding. And movement again, it's 2-in-1. So those that actually didn't necessarily, they don't. It takes them effort or for leisure. It would be nice actually have
to have it in an environment like that.
Where it's like you would have to travel somewhere and so we like places with like Cape Town, and it's like this one
you want the whole
and then he's like okay, this can actually work. So and then we started actually talking about it, and then we prayed about it, and then we would get into the night. And then after some expo, whether Monte Casino or wherever, whenever you did these things. I told her again, and then price I winner. I hesitate but winner certain little things. And I was like, no, this means actually again something else is coming to you. So just actually let's still put energy into it, meaning or again to about how it happened. So it happened or again another expo which was at a venue recently. I think it was Oakfields, right? So that's where actually we made up this magazine company. So they had a stall there, and because now we were going to do the magazines that were weddings and event whatever and stuff. So we had certain books. So I feel hey guys, there's these books, So it was a new issue movement again this competition actually was Marvel. And that's like so when she says like I know we got that and even at a discount because already we had all these other ones because this was close to nothing like anyway on a very bad she's like this is ours and it was what again discrimination so all those things that she was like
fits
the whole like what
yeah.
you actually uttering to the universe right so now why share that okay now so this can actually happen like, hey by the way you are writing it okay now I'll write it but I'm not gonna write it alone you will write it so which is what actually had happened so because he had and I laid before you actually did it it's like my team you actually did this so what I have to now utter or inscribe onto this paper so that the next person actually be fond of it let it be so that the can give it to me and then Tonana let's give her what she deserves right so it's just not in just utterance it's the belief that comes into play and then now we two are joined with the same goal it even makes the manifestation quicker you know what I mean so and then sharp in what's going on okay till such time it's like woo wow I change my mind that sharp so one of the other things was obviously I need to have in this period I think it only in fact like June so
okay
and then towards like one of the even I need to more and then by the time you get posted and they say get into something else you work out again her birthday it's a birthday month so we should just even just being in the mood would just be a proper something in the right direction or even a blessing and I'm grateful for it you know
when is the birthday
on the 28th it's August
August okay
so and on the 24th I get an email so what he did so he sent me the photos
so you get like shortlisted
okay so we had seen her again they had already picked up a couple to say already so this initially so we're the fourth couple to be nominated and then on August 24th so I have a dad
there we go
surprise guess what
perfect birthday present
you know
what
all right so now she's a queen right and then when I did me about it so I believe as royalty certain things hence it had to happen the way it did, right and deservedly so I believe you know I believe I lived in those times in those queens and these different times so she literally was a queen you know in all manner you know and on a 2 second turn and which is what I think about couples but nothing is easy right but we make it hard so and when characters actually are together with actually that merge with qualities and characteristics there's that compromise there's that synergy that's able to be built versus for 1, 2, 3 1, 2, 3 stand you are actually projections of whatever it is so you're not actually looking about that person so which is what it was in the nicest thing ever and it felt like in a good gonna lay myself this name to reach out you know so it was easy you know to a point really didn't have to go there so and then that's what actually had happened so and then through that we didn't sit there. We're after the nomination. You had a couple, what, and then there was still 10 more finalists. So we were like, okay, fine. After they've chosen the 10, what's going to happen? You know? And then it's like, okay, fine. Strategy again. It's like, what do you do? What do you want? You know, and then we are calling upon it and sending it forth. No, this is what actually it is. Imagine out of 50 we have 1 million people in South Africa. Well, like, no, this is ours, this already. I mean, you can tell in the but they laughed the thing, you know. It's like, yeah, no, surely. No. And it went down to 10, to 5, to 3. You know. And then by the timing, and then we were looking, and then we are obviously praying about it. Still. And then they are still going to like us no matter what. Until such time these people they called us, they couldn't even hold it to themselves. They were trying to sit down to, and then the other couple was the contestant Jabi 2, the last 2.
Okay. And 2 more.
And we Cape Town. And we got in. This is like a destination wedding in Harvanas in Cape Town. So it's closer to them, but there's that element deal of man out again. I don't know.
So you find yourself having to travel now to Cape Town.
Yes, so we had to take the whole family there to Cape Town. So which is that destinational wedding that we were talking about. So yes, it's something, and it's significant in a sense. Sort of thing. Nothing happens for by chance. Nothing's coincidental under the sun. The way probably where it happened. I mean, it's still going back to the Adam's calendar. About going back to the proper heritage of South Africa as a whole. You know, and I believe it was a perfect send off for her. You know, I give
thanks, man.
You know, Lord. Yeah,
man. And so it was a whole million. Or
you know what? Well, alright. Because there's that thing that state of the art anywhere else. It travels. The people that actually. I mean, you had flowers from.
Because I'm thinking, what kind of food would you be having with the million rands wedding? You know, what kind of venue?
The flowers.
The honeymoon is the honeymoon included in that?
Yeah, it's included in that. You know.
What?
Yeah.
That's proper, man.
Okay, man.
That's proper, man.
So, yeah. So, it was highly blessings, you know. So, it's certain things like that. Most man out of Kenya. An honoring of a soul, in a sense, and which is how I look at it. You know. And for me, what I take out of also is anything and everything that you put your heart or your mind to, right, is actually can actually happen. And which is where now I'm saying now, right, we are here to actually change the narrative of everything. So the paradigm needs to change. So meaning, what we utter, right, is as much as how what actually we ingest, right? And in that, when we align the two, we as Africa, we as South Africans, we actually going to develop this country into the better place that we actually want. Because now what? We will be better thinking. And it will never be about self or anything else, because now you will know I'm not just here for myself. I'm here for the collective.
Wow.
You know?
My king, we give thanks. We give thanks and respect, man. And of course, man, we appreciate your tell all. I mean, it's sunset now. We first time we do an outdoor. This is the 3rd episode that we do. And you've welcomed us into your place and said, no, let's sit right here, let's do it right here, and all that. That said, I wish we could be rolling with state of the art equipment already, just for quality and all that. I know that my good friend behind the camera was busy signaling to us saying, hey man, stop relaxing too much because now you're falling into a dark place and all that and all that, and I need you to be clear and all that. So but thank you so much, man, for all that you've shared with us. I think you are blessed and highly favored, man. We give thanks, man, and it's all respect to you. You are a game changer, leader of the free society. Yes, man, and of course, all I wanted to say was to say thank you, man, for gracing us with your lovely presence, man, for blessing the show, man, with wisdom that you've shared. We are truly enlightened, and I truly hope that goes the same for every viewer that will be checking this out. And man, just stay shining, man. Just like how you wrote that article in that magazine that won you that million rands. I think you are still the author, of any prospects, any other prospects that you yearn and harbor, in your life, man. That's it, man. We say we give thanks, and man, we say, God bless, man. We give thanks, man. Yeah. Anything else that we should say before we close? Because we're closing now.
It's a book that actually, that's supposed to, I think, come out.
Yes, I.
Yeah, I think it's like that. Like I said, Farai. It's teach one, each one. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You are able to give a hand to the next person.
Teach one. Yeah.
And then you are able to give a hand and lend the hand to the next person, whether in healing or whether in whatever else. So whether the story probably that is on there, whether for a guy, for a lady, it probably could be that actually of a healing, because now we need to actually have an understanding of who we are before we can actually go into certain things that we don't even understand.
Yeah.
Thinking because it's actually happening, I might as well just do it. But then again, there's fundamentals of actually how we can do certain things.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm talking about the principles of the construct of marriage and things like that.
Okay.
So whether, it's time now where now states should not list South African men being depressed second in the country. That narrative needs to change. Right? We need to now be somewhere there for something that is really beautiful, that is alleviating, that is actually proper health, and well-being. Not necessarily all this thing that people actually are being depressed. And I believe it's actually about then where we merge and know that we need each other as a female and a male for actually things to actually happen.
No, we look forward to that read, man. If it were up to me, I would say toss the manuscripts before publishing.
For sure.
Just to give me that privilege of being the first to read and give feedback and all that, and that said, I promise I will definitely read word for word, man, to the very last full stop on the book, man. Thato, Morena Thato, we thank you, we give thanks, man, and we say stay shiny, man. God keep blessing you, man, in the way that He's blessed you before. And of course, man, may all those endeavors, man, come to fruition. That said, we say salute to all the viewers, to all the YouTubers, and we say please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like the video as well. Even if you don't like the video, just subscribe, okay? Forget the like, subscribe so that we can produce more of this content. It's raw, it's from the streets, it's from the hood, it's from the regular Joe. My name is Tshepo Monare, and this is Better Days with Tshepo Monare. Salute, one love. One love, man. One love.
Kitse o he thapelo tsa rona ha di arabe.